Hi, this is Paul Slatka's Good News Broadcast. I'm speaking with Steve Sommers. Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing well, Paul. And yourself?
Okay, good. Steve is Director of Marketing over at Sony, I guess focused on the Alpha NEX camera area. Is that right, Steve?
That's correct, yep.
Tell us, and we're going to talk about some good things that Sony's been involved with, some good philanthropic outreach with a organization called Love Heals, which we've actually been involved with for many, many years. They had an 11th annual Love Heals at Luna Farm and out there in the Hamptons. The Love Heals organization is the Alison Gertz Foundation for AIDS Education, and it happened on July 10th at Luna Farm, and Sony Next Cameras was presenting the evening and coming through for the community, of which they have helped, I know, hundreds of thousands of people with AIDS. So thank you very much for doing that, Steve.
Well, thanks for having us. It was a great event, and we appreciate the opportunity to be part of it.
Well, tell us how you got involved with it, and some of the things that you shared with the community that went to this event.
Sure. You know, it was brought to us as a great opportunity to communicate at I think, a wonderful philanthropic event. The Love Heals event is, we are under the mantra of kind of make, dot, believe. Anything you can imagine, you can make real, and the Love Heal event really seems to personify that. The effort to eradicate this disease, and similarly on our side, we imagine a lot of amazing products, and believe that we can make them real and bring them to the life. So it felt like there was a lot of intersection. Photography is obviously a very powerful medium as well, and so often when we're communicating our digital imaging products, we're talking about photography and where it matters. And in places like this, where people are taking really compelling pictures to communicate their cause, it seemed like a very natural fit.
And the more we learn about HIV and about the AIDS and disease, and that's what this kind of money is being used for, the potential of eradicating it or by far lessening the concern, I imagine, is something that's for you very, very, the reason to get involved.
Absolutely.
In fact, today, ironically, today's actually the 20th, a few days after the event, so on the New York Times front page here, lead story here on the right side, 2 African studies give women's hope in fighting HIV, focus on prevention. Payments promising vaginal gel may be years from the public, but I guess a lot of people are working on this concern. Tell us about this. You built a photo studio there. I know we had some of our reporters over there. What did you actually literally do at the event?
We did. I think it really helped enhance the experience, and that was I think the objective was to be part of the overall Love Heals event and experience, but enhance it as opposed to interrupt it. So we created a space where the attendees could queue up and get their picture taken by a professional photographer actually shooting our Sony Alpha 900 Professional Series DSLR camera, and set up like a full photo studio with the big lighting rigs and the props and all that. And as the pictures were taken, we would then print them and give them to the attendees, as well as we were projecting them up on the walls of the inside of the tent, which I think was great. People loved to see that, and they really hammed it up and had a lot of fun with it, and added a lot of energy and excitement to the event. And from the beginning, when the doors opened, so to speak, to when the security finally asked the last few people to kindly make their way to the door, there was a line. So I thought it went really well, and the folks from Love Heals did as well.
This kind of a concept, I think, is growing immensely. At fair, weddings, and all kinds of events, and so on and so forth. People are taking photos of the people that are right there, and then people are leaving with those photos. It's a new world in the world of electronics and technology, wouldn't you say?
It is, and I think that's where Sony's trying just to stay on the forefront and figure out, what matters to consumers. And to your point, it's not only capturing amazing images with friends and people you love, but then being able to immediately share them. And digital photography obviously makes that possible with the Sony digital printers there. makes it even more possible to physically leave with a printout as opposed to just a file. So, it works really well.
Tell me, since I've been in essence, the broadcasting industry, and I remember when we started 38 years ago, a long time ago, Sony was it. And you went into the TV studios, there's Sony monitors, everybody's using, Sony for CBS and PBS, the network kind of level. So tell us about the Sony Next camera. So what are some of the kind of features that something like that has to offer the population?
Yeah, you're spot on, Paul. I mean, it's a lot of our heritage, a lot of our knowledge in electronics in the imaging space as well that we've leveraged for the Sony Alpha NEX. The real key to this product is amazing, DSLR level quality pictures in a small form factor. And so you take a look at the product, and I said it looks like something out of James Bond. It's real sleek, nice looking, very easy to carry around, for traveling, but at the same time has amazing picture quality. Is able to take sweep panorama pictures where it'll stitch 80 photos together in one simple sweeping motion and make a big panoramic shot. It's also capable right now of shooting 3D images, so you can actually shoot your own personal 3D content on the Sony Alpha NEX camera. And again, in a real small form factor. And we feel there's a real big need for that for both kind of the point and shoot step-up consumer, as well as the DSLR owner. DSLR owners know about taking great quality photos, but they want to be able to carry something a bit smaller. Point-and-shoot step-up owners don't want to carry a really big camera, but they're looking for better quality, and the Sony Alpha NEX delivers that. And
with a camera like this, you can shoot it in, with f-stops as well as automatically?
You can, absolutely. Fully, customizable, programmable, just like a DSLR camera, but also has some settings on there, and even more so, we've integrated the manual into the camera itself. So whereas before, a consumer would have to know what f-stops were, now you can actually read on the LCD of the camera, if you adjust the f-stop, what that'll do to your picture. If you adjust the aperture, what that will do to the depth of field in a very simple user interface.
So everybody out there, how you see these professional photographs and all you see is the face and you see the blurred background. This is one of the ways that you go about to do something like that.
Absolutely. That's exactly what Sony Digital Imaging is shooting for, and not only the capability in the camera, but also conveying that information to a kind of an amateur photographer how to do it. Mm-hmm. That's what we're really shooting for.
That's good news. That's great. So when you go out and you do this kind of a Love Heals event internally, because making people in your own company, I think that's the main thing. In addition to, of course, outside, but for working at a company that's a do-good kind of a company such as Sony, do you inform the people that are working at Sony that this is something we're going to partake in, and I'm sure that good feelings all around?
We absolutely do. It's a great point that you raised, Paul. I think a lot of that internally, the internal communication is critical here to inform all of the folks at Sony what we're doing, get them excited about it, and turn them into evangelists as well. And oftentimes we found that when we do participate in these causes, a lot of the Sony employees then take a personal interest in them and continue to participate in them. So we communicate that in our internal blogs, internal newsletters. Obviously, throughout the building, we post up different signage, etc.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, it's all we are is what we are for each other. So the more we are helping each other, it all works out. So Love Heals has a website too, and it's loveheals.org, and we'll link over onto that. It's a serious concern, this HIV/AIDS. 2 teenagers are affected with HIV every 2 hours. Ooh, jeepers creepers. So this is serious stuff. I appreciate that you came out here. Thanks for sharing the good things Sony's doing with us. And let me just ask you one last question then. Steve, for you, what's good news for you?
What's good news for us as far as the results of the event, or?
All right, either way, yourself, the company, or overall.
Yeah, I think good news for Sony right now is that the year's looking more positive. We're the old phrase, cautiously optimistic. We've got some fantastic products coming to market this year. I think consumers are getting a little more excited. We're finding ways to, communicate the benefits of our products to the consumer in ways we haven't before, such as Love Heals. And I think there's some good news on the horizon for Sony and for the rest of the folks out there as well.
And can we go over to that Sony Style store on Madison Avenue and see what we're talking about?
Absolutely. It's a great store, isn't it? I love that one.
Fantastic. Okay, Steve, thanks so much for sharing good news with us. And once again, congratulations on the good things you guys are doing.
Thanks so much, Paul. Appreciate the time.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, you too.